Hello and welcome to Brandix Reviews. Today we've just been to see the new Ant-Man film and both pretty happy with it, so we're going to have a bit of a kind of discussion about it here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cause.
Yes, that's all I have to say. That's a bit.
Yeah,
As you can see, I am back. I'm no longer a disembodied voice.
Yeah, he's back from the dead. If you saw the last review, you'll get the reference there. So yeah, the film just came out today, so it was one where we didn't wait. We tend to go the day of release of these.
Yeah, pretty much.
So very happy with it anyway.
Yeah, we saw this one in 3D.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed actually. Not like I wasn't underwhelmed at all. But
Yeah, I would say it was good 3D, but it wasn't spectacular at the same time. It was good because there was no point where I felt it was getting blurry and I couldn't really follow the action. But at no point did anything really jump out and made me think, oh man, I'm glad I saw this in 3D. It's perfectly competent, but again, unless you really want to see it in 3D, don't bother.
Yeah, because some films it works. Say what you like about the film itself, but like Spider-Man 2 was quite good in 3D.
Well, they really went all out with the 3D in that.
Yeah, exactly. But the actual character and everything about it, I thought it was very memorable. They weren't just rehashing the same superhero thing. Obviously, as you get from the trailers, it's a heist movie. It's not necessarily a end of the world thing.
Although I would say, on the same level, if you were going in just expecting kind of like superheroes and fights and action, you wouldn't necessarily be disappointed because there is a fair bit of action in this as well. So it's not just like slick heist movie stuff. So there is that.
I was kind of watching it. I was kind of reminded of. I may have said this before. Memoirs of an Invisible Man, the John Carpenter film with Chevy Chase, had a similar sort of feel to that, where is effectively a superhero, but he's not doing the superhero thing.
Yeah. He doesn't really set out to be a hero. He's just like a thief.
Yeah. So it kind of it starts out like that, and it kind of ends like that as well. There's going to be spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen,
yeah, this is a spoiler-free part of it. Good film, worth seeing, very entertaining. 3D, not too bad. But now, spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers. So, yeah, if you know spoilers, turn off now.
Yeah. So basically the threat in this is technology is going to get into the hands of Hydra. Technology that could potentially be, devastating for like everybody. So
yeah, initially it's just Hank Pym doesn't want anybody getting this, but it does turn out eventually the bad guy in this film, his protege, is planning on selling this to Hydra.
Yeah, and it obviously that ties in with the other films, but they don't do it too in your face.
Falcon, there's there is one like proper tie-in to it where he fights Falcon, which is very comic booky because it's like he runs into him, there's misunderstanding, it ends in a fight.
Very much what you would get out of reading the comics, like the kind of 60s, 70s, 80s comics. I got a definite vibe from it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Basically, at one point, he's got to go into this old Stark facility and get something that Hank Pym originally designed for S.H.I.E.L.D., but is stored at this old facility. And it's not until he's like parachuting down that he realises, wait, this isn't Stark facility anymore. There's a massive A on it, and of course it's the place you saw at the end of Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Actually, I thought that was what it was, that kind of hangar.
So obviously, that hangar place is more secretive than Avengers Tower was.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously not common knowledge, because he doesn't know until he breaks through the cloud cover and he's like, oh, what am I breaking into?
Yeah.
And they're all like, get out of there, Scott, get out of there, you're going to die, they're going to take the suit, don't do this.
But yeah, and then when that bit, did you notice the Avengers theme played as well, the Alan Silvestri theme, just like for a little bit. So yeah, Falcon is the only kind of recurring character apart from the beginning bit with Peggy Carter and Howard Stark. And it was Howard Stark, the actor, I can't remember the actor's name, but he played him in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, the premise of it is Hank Pym was active as the Ant-Man in the very early days of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is obviously pre-Nick Fury, S.H.I.E.L.D's run by Howard Stark, Haley Atwell and like others like that. And it kind of makes sense because the Ant-Man is this thing that shrinks right down, you can barely see him. They've got photographs of him fighting people and he's literally just like a tiny little dot you can hardly see. So it would make sense that nobody would know about him. He's like the ultimate like stealth operative.
Yeah, because he made out that any photographs of him that it was like propaganda to like scare the communists or something. Is that right?
Yeah, ultimately he tells S.H.I.E.L.D. to go screw themselves because they're trying to like duplicate his Pym particles. And one of them like makes like a crack about his wife, and he kind of loses it and smashes his head into a desk and like storms out.
And he's one of the guys that turns out to be Hydra later on
Yeah.
in years to come.
It's kind of ironic, so I was thinking at the time, like, I'm betting that guy was Hydra, because he's
Yeah.
a total tool.
Yeah. I did love that bit at the beginning. I remember months ago, last year, hearing that they put a call out for an actor that looked like Michael Douglas, which to me sounded like, if they're just saying that, they're not like auditioning, they're just saying an actor looks like Michael Douglas. So there was going to be some kind of visual effects deal, and they made him look. They obviously CGI.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's kind of the similar sort of thing, presumably, to what they did in Captain America, the original one, where originally Steve Rogers is very like wimpy. Again, that was pretty good. A lot of the time, you couldn't tell it was done, and this is probably a lot less severe alteration to him to just like youth him a bit. But it looked good.
Yeah.
I didn't even seeing it in the cinema with like 3D. I wasn't spotting any like. Oh, that looks really fake. What the hell?
Yeah, you probably wouldn't really even know. I mean, it was a lot better. Let's put it through. It was a lot better than the Arnold Schwarzenegger redo that they did for Terminator Salvation. I mean, some of the
I'll tell
bits
you word
were-
on that one, 'cause I haven't seen that one yet.
I mean, well, it's on YouTube. There's
Well,
some-
yeah, I've seen bits of it, but I haven't like seen it properly. So I'm
But
not
yeah, it was better than that anyway. So quite happy with that. And they made Peggy Carter look quite old as well. I think she should be about 50 or no, she'd be older than that.
Yeah.
60 odd.
It was better. In some ways, it was better than the old age makeup they did in Winter Soldier, because in some ways, just the amount of makeup they had to put on her there to make her look like
Yeah.
a really old woman. It wasn't bad, but you could see that it was makeup.
Yeah.
This time, less obvious.
Yeah, and this was 1989 that it was set. So this would be around about the time Michael Douglas was like doing Romance in the Stone and those kind of
Yeah.
Jewel of the Nile, that kind
Kind
of
of
era.
the prime of his kind of like as a heartthrob stroke like
Yeah.
action guy.
Yeah, he's really good actor, is Michael Douglas. I think this franchise.
So
are
I
going
always
for-
liked him from stuff like Romance in the Stone
Yeah.
and Jewel of the Nile.
Well, it was
He's
a sort of
kinda cool in those.
Harrison Ford kind
Yeah.
of actor. But it's good that they've got him in, and they didn't kill him off, so he's probably going to reprise his role, I guess.
Yeah, I also think it was a good idea not having Hank Pym be the Ant-Man, because Hank Pym can be a bit of a jerk in the comics. And he's a character that could be a tough sell, because, I mean, personally, I can't stand the character. I really do not like Ant-Man in the comics. But in this, he's quite interesting. You get the impression he's not a perfect guy, because, I mean, he has his, like, protege, the main bad guy. What's his name?
Darren Cross.
Darren Cross, that's it. And he was
Not
like...
Deacon Frost, that's the blade.
No, I didn't say Deacon Frost. And he was like DC, you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Irrelevant. Moving on. Yeah, he's kind of like his protege that he kind of saw some of himself in. But ultimately, he was interested in going after the Pym particle, and he was like, leave it, it's just a myth, it doesn't exist. And you've got kind of like almost like a Batman kind of situation of like they've bought the company out from under Hank Pym.
Oh, yeah.
He's the figurehead, but he's like got no power. And they are finally pushing forward with the Yellow Jacket project, which is basically Pym particles. They're like shrinking a battle suit.
I think they said as well that using the suit and the technology kind of messed with the brain chemistry as well.
Yeah, well, they said if you didn't have like a proper helmet like Ant-Man has, it would screw up your brain chemistry. But that is a bit of a loophole, because it's like, what, he's shrunk himself?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, he obviously hasn't shrunk himself, because they only perfect the shrinking during this like
He
thing.
wasn't even
so-
aware that the shrinking was impossible, did he? Because, you know. But, yeah.
Because he actually kills somebody that way, he kind of like shrinks them and they just like turn into a blob of goo on the floor because it like screws up.
I think Topher did that one time.
No.
So, yeah, so that was the bad guy in it anyway. It was, again, with Marvel films. I mean, I liked the suit, the Yellow Jacket suit was great, but again...
Yeah, they managed to make that look pretty good. It looked like something that would fight Iron Man, basically.
Yeah. I mean, this is one thing that's...
But obviously it wasn't that good, because Iron Man's able to take it on like when they're both the same scale.
Yeah. This is something that's come up quite recently that, I mean, Marvel's been criticising previous films for their bad guys not being all that... I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not all that great. It seems like the DC franchise, where they're going, the bad guys in that seem to be more like memorable than Marvel.
Yeah, this guy, I don't know if he's somebody from the Ant-Man comics, because like I say, I don't like Ant-Man, don't follow him. I have no idea who this guy was supposed to be. I do know of the Yellow Jacket, because that's actually an alternate name for Ant-Man for a while.
Yeah, because he goes through a bit of a breakdown, like hits his wife.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that happens with him I don't know the full story. I just know a few things I've seen him in, and he's been a jerk. So I didn't like the character.
Yeah. Well, he is. He pretty much is. I think that's the thing. He's got to a point where he's fairly unlikable. I mean, I've read.
Yeah, didn't like the character. Didn't like the premise of the powers. Didn't like the Ant-Man at all. But I really enjoyed this film. So
Yeah.
hats off to Marvel for making it.
To be clear, what you mean when you don't like it, you meant in the comics you didn't like.
Yeah,
it.
I don't know. This film was good. It turned me around on that. Didn't like the premise of the character, but it worked for me. So, I mean, I was very kind of unsure about it when we first started talking about this, and it swung me around. So
yeah, I mean, I think this film was more of an attempt to do what they did last year. So you've got your series Marvel film, and then in the summer you've got your kind of more laid back Marvel film like Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think this one was quite as fun as Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think it was.
I'd say it had a lot of humour though, because Scott Lang is kind of like a funny character because he's a bit kind of hopeless at times.
Yeah, and Paul Rudd he does a lot of comedies and stuff, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got good timing, especially when like Hank Pym and Hope Pym are like having a moment. Well, they don't actually. They only call her Hope in this, and he's supposed to be his daughter, so he could go either way.
Yeah.
They're having like a moment of reconciliation. It's kind of like a touching, heartwarming moment. He's like, "It's good. It's good you two have like made progress." And like both looking at him like, "Will you shut up?" And he's like, "I spoiled the moment, haven't I?"
Yeah.
Like, off.
I noticed they didn't have a bit in the film that was in that first trailer where it says, "Is it too late to change the name?"
Yeah, they didn't have that, but they did actually include. I don't know if it was the exact same footage, but the kind of early, kind of like, what the hell is it? Yeah, the test footage of like the Ant-Man fight. They had something similar to that where he's like shrinking down and he's hitting people and.
Yeah, there was a test footage that they released at Comic Con a few years ago where he runs down a corridor, there's two security guards, they shoot at him and he kind of shrinks and then fights them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm presuming they changed it around because it didn't really happen like that exactly, but
there
it
some
was
similarities.
Yeah, kind of just running down the barrel of the gun and so forth.
Yeah, I think the bit where he grabs a guy by his tie and throws him through a window. That's,
Yeah, because it's supposed to be, even though he's like shrunk down, he still like maintains the proportional strength as if he was like big.
But
so
compacted.
Yeah, so like a normal punch like that hits you like a bullet.
Yeah, so it's kind of
So he's actually got to learn to fight because if he hits them in the wrong way, he could actually kill.
Yeah.
Like quite easily. And the final fight is hilarious. I mean, you've seen bits of it where there's like Yellow Jacket going as this like Thomas the Tank Engine like creens into him, and then it like zooms out to the rest of the room. And the Thomas the Tank Engine just goes.
Yeah,
it's like complete. It is really funny.
Well, there are plenty of bits that weren't in the trail that we didn't know about.
Yeah, it's not something where the trailers ruin the film.
No.
You saw enough in the trailer to know what the film was going to be about, and it doesn't do anything that like variates from that to the point you're like going, "What the hell's going on here?" But at the same time, it's not like, "Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen." So it didn't spoil it, so that's good.
There are plenty of bits like the Thomas the Tank Engine bit in the trailer. There's plenty of other bits. In fact, they even do something else with the Thomas the Tank Engine that I didn't know was going to come in through. One thing I was thinking as well, because that finale, and with all these Marvel films and how epic they are and stuff, the finale of this took place in a little girl's bedroom.
Yeah.
So it's the scale of the film.
At the end of this, the general public aren't going to know who Ant-Man is. People aren't going to be like standing up and going, "It's Ant-Man," as he like zooms overhead. Yeah. At the end of this, nobody knows what he's done. Nobody knows that he's stopped Hydra from getting a legion of these Yellow Jacket soldiers. Nobody knows. He's like an unsung hero. But it kind of like it's a personal victory because his daughter knows, his ex-wife knows, and her new husband knows. He turns out to be way less of a dick than you think he's going to be.
Yeah, that was a bit stereotypical, but then again, throughout life there are so many families like that, so I can kind of forgive it for that.
Yeah, like I say, it set up what you needed to, nice and quick. You understood exactly where it was coming from. Yeah, you'd seen it before, but it wasn't to the point where this was annoying or anything like that.
One thing I'll say as well, I didn't feel like I missed the Edgar Wright feel that it would have had, that I expected when it was originally going to be an Edgar Wright film. I was fine with that. I don't think, this would have been so much better if he'd have directed it.
Like I said, I don't know. It could have been a complete disaster if he had. You have no idea, really.
I think the reason he didn't, where he came off the project, was because Marvel Studios wanted it to tie more with the Avengers. And when he wrote the film back in like 2006, that was like 2 years before Iron Man came out. It was a standalone film, and that was the film he wanted to make.
I would say, I don't think this film would have worked before Iron Man.
No.
I mean, certainly just from a Marvel fan, I would not have bothered with an Ant-Man film if I hadn't been like won over by the Marvel Cinematic Universe to date.
Same here.
So yeah, I mean, if you're an Ant-Man fan, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm rubbishing him. It's just a personal matter of preference. I don't really like the shrinking power. It's a bit lame as like a superpower in general. Don't like the character. I think he's a bit of an ass. Don't like the design of the character, but this film put it all together in a way that worked for me.
When you put it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's a sell shot.
Yeah.
It's like Fantastic Four. If that was a Marvel Cinematic Universe film, we'd be all over it.
Yeah, as it is, we're a bit more cautious.
If this was 20th Century Fox and Marvel Ant-Man film, would probably not be as... But not just our perception, but I think the delivery of it wouldn't have been as good unless Marvel Studios had done it.
There is one... It's kind of one of those annoying plot holes as well. The plan is to break in and stop the Yellow Jacket project by destroying the prototype and blowing up the lab, essentially. Now, this is obvious. This is a thing they do quite a bit in like films like this, and it's like scientists could just reinvent this, unless you're actually planning at some point and not like told Scott Lang that you're going to kill off this Derek Cross guy. How exactly are you planning on stopping him just recreating the formula? It's not like he's stolen Hank Pym's work as such.
Yeah,
he seems to have devised it himself. It's only because the guy goes nuts at the end and they does eventually get killed that this, well, actually no, he doesn't get killed because he disappears into the microverse like Hank Pym does, but not Scott Lang does, but Scott Lang manages to come back. So theoretically, you could return Yellow Jacket if you wanted.
That's probably like at least the third villain they've done that with now, because they did it with Red Skull, and they've done it with...
and I like that. As a comic book fan, I like that. I don't want to see the Joker permanently killed. I don't want to see... Not Two-Face permanently killed. I don't want to see these villains killed. I see these comic book films as like, this is an alternate version of the comic books. And after this battle... This could continue on. Red Skull could come back and fight him again. I don't want to see a permanent end to it. Honestly, a decisive victory, yes, but not like, right, this character's dead.
Yeah, because if you think back to that original Thor film, like Loki was essentially thrown into the chasm, like never to come back, and he came back. So they can always...
Like I say, I don't mind endings like that, but when it's like, yep, Two-Face definitively dead, it's like, well, that's a bit of a shame because you could use him again.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially
he could be somebody who's fighting Batman outside of these films that you're making, but nope, you've closed that door.
Because you could do like a supervillain team, like a Sinister Six, but with, or maybe just have a couple...
Suicide Squad.
Well, yeah, exactly. But finally, I think...
Yeah, that was the only real plot hole that I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
It's like a general one in films like this.
Sure.
So, do you want to talk about the
post-credits?
Yeah,
post-credits, there's two of them, so I'll just say, I know some of these Marvel films, like Avengers Age of Ultron, didn't have anything right at the end. This does.
This is worth staying, and they were quite good, kind of...
Yeah. Because the first one is kind of mid-credits, and it's the Hank Pym character tells his daughter... he gives her the Wasp suit, the traditional Wasp suit.
It's one they were working on before his wife's death.
Yeah, and it's basically...
It's like, we'll finish it, this is yours, you've shown me that I'm wrong to hold you back.
Yeah. And then the final post-credits scene, the end bit, was a tie-in with Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and the next film, Civil War. You've got the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, is kind of been captured by Falcon and Captain America, who are there. And they say, something along the lines, we don't want to call Stark, but Falcon...
Yeah, we don't want to call Stark because of... something to do with something. It was kind of hard to make out.
Yeah,
it was something to do with like an initiative or something.
So I'm going to call the Corps.
It's like the
bringing
Accord.
you into this. Or the Accord. I thought it was the Corps. I was going to bring the Corps into this. I thought you get a role in the next film. But then Falcon's like, well, actually, I might know a guy that can help us, being Ant-Man, who he's just met. So he's going to be in the next film, the Civil War film. So
yeah, like I say, we were kind of theorising that perhaps this is something that is going to happen during Civil War. Like, this is going to be within the first 5 minutes. It's going to have those two hunting him down, and then this part is going to link the two together.
Yeah, it could be, because it's like the Bourne supremacy, where it had that scene at the end where he's saying, get some sleep, you look tired. That was like halfway through the next film. So
yeah, I wonder if it's going to be something like that, because they definitely have the feeling of there's things we don't know about, like what's Tony Stark got mixed up in, what's going on here, what's happening. because they left on pretty good terms at the end of
Yeah.
Age of Ultron.
I didn't see much of a setup in this film for Civil War.
Yeah, we mentioned that, but in some ways maybe that's a good thing because it's not going to be one of those things where it's too tightly linked together, and if you didn't watch one of them, you'd be like, well, I don't get what's happening here, or, oh, man, this bit's just here to tie into this. Good God.
Yeah, so it's a standalone film, and also
Yeah, most of these films seem to be standalone, which is good.
Yeah. It's part of the largest cinematic universe. It fits in. It felt like very different to the others. I mean, even Guardians of the Galaxy felt like it was the same tone as like the other films.
Yeah.
This felt like a different tone to what they've done before, but not in a great way. Really doing it in a great way.
Also, I wonder if there's a bit of self-referential humour, because at one point, like, basically like they outline the problem, Scott Langley's like, right, the first thing we're going to do, and you think it's going to be like how he's going to start the heist, but he's like, why aren't we calling the Avengers? And they're like, look, the Avengers are too busy dropping cities on people, you know.
Yeah, they say that, yeah. There was a very vague reference to Spider-Man as well on the...
Yeah, they mention...
just knowing somebody who's a wall climber and
like a swinger of some description.
Yeah, which don't mean wife swapping, like it just means...
web slinging and wall crawling, which is what he's famous for.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a nod there to what's to come. So.
Yeah, I kind of equate it to the where you vaguely saw Dr. Stephen Strange's name in like the list of like enemies of Hydra that they need to take out. Like people who could potentially oppose them.
Yeah, anyone that could threaten Hydra, Bruce Banner, Stephen Strange, all the rest of them.
Yeah.
That bit, yeah. I think we're running out of time anyway because we've gone past.
That's why we're rushing around.
Yeah, so we'll leave it there. That's
good film. Enjoyed it. You'll like it. Go watch it. Have fun. We'll be back with the next review. Afterwards, some social media stuff about how to follow us. So.
Cool. See ya. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just so you know, for more news, reviews and retrospectives, you can like our page on Facebook, simply called Brand X Reviews. But as well as that, you can also subscribe to us on YouTube via this video. You can also bookmark our website, which is brandxreviews.com, which is pretty much a central hub for everything that I've just mentioned. So check that out and we will see you next time. Thank you very much.